Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Schizo here. And, well, lately I just been chilling and writing music, but besides that, I've been hanging out with a very talented group known as WortownzFinezt that includes some of my close friends. But soon they're going to be dropping a mixtape called Past Due. You know, it's going to be dropping on November 11th, 2009. The anniversary of the very close friends that passed away a few years ago. You know, much respect, rest in peace. But yeah, you guys should definitely listen to them. Definitely check them out. And if you don't know who they are, here's the interview. Here's the introduction to them. So listen up and listen closely. All right.
Like, say it.
Okay, dope,
3, 2, 1. WortownzFinezt.
Let the record spin, let the record show. I'm the metronome, rhyming like I got a timer, and I'm about to bring the flow. Invincible, I'm heavy-handed when I grab a mic. Kill a beat like I've been waiting for this moment all my life. The champ is finally in the building. Assalamu alaikum if you're Muslim and you cover up your women. Simply different. Venom on the track, my tongue is gifted. Never mind, I blew a tantrum like a Marvel comic supervillain. My grand entrance, and you're welcome. I'm here to feel a buzz and party till I'm felt up. So flash, flash, glimmer, glimmer, paparazzi, come and watch me. I'm about to keep it classic like a Tamagotchi. I'm about to give your mind another second. I feel like you could use it just to get the rep. I started rapping my junior year. Then I linked up with Jason Coble, J. Coble, aka
J motherfucking Cole.
J motherfucking Coble.
And I started writing since like 6th, 7th grade. And I met up with Han, and that's how the group started.
And then we labeled ourselves as WortownzFinezt because back then we were young and arrogant, and we thought we were the best rappers in Worcester.
When we weren't at the time.
Yeah,
we are now, but not at the time.
We were terrible. But so then, I guess I play ball a lot. So me and my boy CJ, he is no longer in the group because he's a slacker. That's beside the point. We used to play ball, and then we linked up with B Smalls.
Yeah, I was at the basketball court. Doing my ball thing, that's how I got my name. Met Han at the club after talking to CJ. Got into that. And just entered the group, made that first song, moved that thing. Just went off and played it.
So then after we added Billy, he's aka B Smalls, and so it was me, B Smalls, Siege, then J Coble, in no particular order. And then due to a tragic accident that happened in November 11, 2006, we linked up with Marky through mutual friend, aka Kid Genesis.
First started off when I first met Han before the accident. He told me he rapped. Hooked him up with my boy Mikey. He came down, did a rap for a couple, and then after the accident, that's when I really got heavy into it with him. I recorded my first song for Brit, and then had to hop on the second one that I did, and ever since then we just clicked.
So then after that, that year, I was at summer camp. That's where I met Lolito, and he needed a place to stay, so lived in my crib for a few. So that's how his story began.
Yeah, pretty much I went to work at this random place up in New Hampshire, and met my boy Han there. We were the only hip hop heads in that area. And basically, yeah, I worked at this summer camp up in New Hampshire for a while, and it's a really isolated spot, and we were really the only hip hop heads there. So I met him, and I met a couple of other dudes out from Worcester. On our day off, Han was just like, yo, come through to Worcester. I came out, and I met all these other wonderful people you see around me. And I didn't really rap at the time, but over time you can only hang out with rappers for so long before you decide you want to try it too. And I tried it, and that's what I do now.
And that's basically how WortownzFinezt was formed. And the name, it just stuck with us. Like, there's no way we can change it whether we like it or not. So
We considered changing it several times, but we can't because
yeah,
that's what we're known for now. Dub F, WortownzFinezt.
Hey, Billy Smalls, aka B Small.
Well, my birth name is Jason Coble, so everybody called me Jay, so I just say, alright, I'm Jay Coble. Then like, the more I started rapping, at first I wasn't that good, so I was like, oh, I kinda suck. But then once I started getting good, I started getting a little arrogant about it. And then people would be like, oh, you're kinda cocky about it. I'm like, that's cause I'm Jay motherfucking Coble, like, that's me. Then it kinda got switched to JMF Coble to kinda clean it up a little bit. Got my mom listening, you can't really like say motherfucking when my mom's in the room, you know? And that's basically my name. Like, I tried a whole bunch of different names, but basically I'm a real dude, so I use my real name, you know?
My birth name is Miguel Gonzalez. The very first stage name I ever had was when I first started beatboxing. I used to go by Hijo de la Gran. It's a very hard name to pronounce, so I dropped that. I took on Metatron, which is what I called myself, but once again, like, sometimes your nicknames don't stick, even if that's what you want. And so I ended up dropping that one as well. The two main ones that I use nowadays are Miguelito and Chief. Those are what my friends call me, and if you ever hear me on a track, that's usually what I'll be labeled as. Miguelito I got called because it's like natural. My name is Miguel, and everywhere I've ever worked, like, people just say, oh, Miguelito is coming. And then Chief I got from one of my boys. His dad was like, you look like this Native American from this movie called Chief. So that's a name that got picked up and also kind of stuck. So if you ever hear me on a track, it'll either be Miguelito or Chief.
So, it's your boy Young Chino from WortownzFinezt. How I got my name, it was given to me when I was a little kid on the block in Crystal Park. Everybody used to call me Chino, and I never really understood what Chino meant until I was older and I was like, Chinese chick, Chino, and I just put it together. And I didn't really understand what it meant until I was in Spanish class, because like Chino means Chinese. And then a lot of my friends in Spanish, so I would meet their parents and they would introduce me as Chino. So then at the time, like all the young guns were hot, Young Joe, Young Jeezy, Young Money was out, so I was like Young Chino, and then I just put it together. So now you know me as Young Chino, and I couldn't change that if I wanted to. And also I go by Mr. Han 2, which is, I came about on a track that me and Jason did, Mr. Me Too, we did a remix. And then Mr. Han 2 just came out, so when you hear me lyrically on the track, that's Young Chino. But when you hear the gentleman and one side of the song, that's Mr. Han 2. So it's not split personality, that's just how I split myself up. And that's that.
Alright, my name is Marky, aka Kid Genesis. And how I got my name was a little bit of a weird story. First started off as The Truth, because that's what I've always liked growing up, but became too much of a common name around the music, like all throughout the MySpaces and underground rappers. And so I decided to change it to Kid Genesis because, when I came up with it, I was still like this 18-year-old kid, and I thought it was just time for me to change the game for a new beginning. So that's where the Genesis came in with the book of the Bible. It's the beginning of my era.